It's daybreak. There's less conversation as we make our way through the forest, and the silence gets heavier. I and Miyashiro must fight that man when we get to the castle. There's no chance of victory, and a certain loss awaits. Hang on, I want to see. It still doesn't show his true name, even though we know, which is interesting. Also, all of his stats are still the same too, even though he's masterless. Rather interesting. There's no chance of victory and a certain loss awaits. I know it should be killed once you start fighting. Yeah, if Archer didn't feel like, talking, I'm not scared, but it's not because I'm prepared for it. If you talk about dying, that man's already dead. It is equivalent for Miyashiro to be dead the moment I figured that out. Yeah, that being the case, I have no reason to worry. We go through the castle gate. Saber looks gloomy. Maybe because she knows what kind of a fight awaits us. What's troubling her is him and me. No matter who gets killed and who survives, the one to be eliminated is the same. Her desire to stop this ridiculous fight is causing her pain. Her eyes stare at the sky sharply, and maybe she's angry at the meaningless battle. The hall is a ruin now. This place, covered with the morning mist, will become our place of death.
来たか。随分と遅い到着だな、エミヤシロ。
A cold voice echoes. The familiar voice comes from the second floor. The man is standing at the top of the stairs, which are lit by the morning sun. His red outfit is far away, and his figure is hazy in the white glare. But I can see him. It's go time. I can see my enemy in detail. That should be the same for the man with the hawk eyes. The servant with the role of archer given to him. He is an archer, but not an archer, and he is a contradictory existence that has many noble phantasms, yet carelessly destroys them. All his noble phantasms are duplications, and the fact that he's able to produce swords in infinite numbers is noble phantasm. I was the only one who did not realize his true identity. Heroic spirits are summoned from every age. If nobody from the past corresponds to him, then the heroic spirit must be from the future.
ようやく気づいた。あのペンダントが2つあるはずがない。あれはもともと。
そうだ。あれは命を救われたお前が生涯持ち続けたもの。この世に2つとない。遠坂凛の父の形見だ。
It is impossible that two such pendants should exist. If Miyashiro held onto the pendant throughout his life as he says, then...
英霊の召喚には必ず触媒が必要となる。お前がセイバーを召喚したように、召喚者と英霊にはつながりがなくてはならない。遠坂凛には英霊を呼び出すための触媒がなかった。故に彼女は呼び出したサーバントに何の縁もないと思い込んだ。だが偶然で呼び出される英霊などいない。召喚者と英霊には必ず物質的な縁が必要となる。
If If he's right, there can only be one answer. If Tosaka did not have a catalyst connected to Archer, then
そう。召喚者ではなく、呼び出された英霊そのものが召喚者に縁のあるものを持っていた場合のみだ。
the jewel is the only one of its kind. My life was saved, but I did not know but I did not know who saved me. So I held onto the pendant which I thought belonged to my savior. That's the answer. If he has Tosaka's pendant, then there is only one person who he can be. Heroic spirit Emiya. The future me. The heroic spirit before me is Emiya Shiro, who perfected his skills and made his ideal come true. The knight in red, Archer, looks down at me from the top of the stairs. There's no one around him. He's standing alone in this vast hall.
アーチャー、遠坂はどうした？
あの小娘なら城のどこかに置いてきたが、気に病むのなら急げ。お前が来るのが遅いのでな、先に来た的を信じにくれてやったところだ。
だと。
お前との約束は守っている。俺は手出しはせん。他の人間が彼女に何をしようが、俺には関わりのないことだ。
I mean, aren't you complicit in her harm though? If you allowed it? Like...
まあ、結果は見えているがな。的真司は遠坂凛に情欲と敵がいを抱いている。あれに凛を預ければどうなるかは考えるまでもない。凛に挑発された小僧は我慢できずに口火を切り、今頃は妙なことになっているかもしれんぞ。
I get pissed off. How can he say such a thing so calmly?
ああ、焦るな、坊主。あのお嬢ちゃんなら俺に任せろ。
Thanks, Lancer.
何？すぐに助け出してやる。
ランサー？
マスターからの命令でな。元から俺はあのお嬢ちゃんを死なせないために協力したわけだ。いや、これが思いのほか居心地よくてな。昨日のは悪くなかった。自分の仕事を気に入れるっていうのは俺にとっては珍しい。
With those words, Lancer ignores Archer and heads to the West Terrace.
ランサー。
気にするな。これはあくまで俺の趣味だ。ま、今までいけすかねえ命令ばっかりだったからな。この命令は最後まで守り抜く。そっちはそっちで自分の面倒だけ見てやがれ。
It's rather interesting to me that he doesn't comment on the whole situation. It's like he accepts the fact that that Shiro reaches heroic spirit status, which is it's kind of cool to be honest. Like he doesn't even question the fact that Shiro became a hero, in a sense. So it's rather interesting.
ああ、遠坂を頼む。
He lightheartedly replies with a yes. Then, Lancer stops and turns around as if he remembered something.
おい、何してんだセイバー。お前も来るんだよ。
Saber lowers her eyes painfully.
いいえ、私はここに残ります、ランサー。
She stands next to me and replies, unlike a servant.
本気か？今のマスターはお嬢ちゃんだろ？サーバントが守るべきはマスターだけのはずだが。
Yeah, but...
分かっています。ですが、それでも私はここに残りたい。私は この戦いを見守らなければ。
Not every day gets to see someone fight with himself. Literally.
そうかよ。なら好きにしな。
Lancer leaves. He easily jumps up to the terrace and disappears into the passageway. Archer doesn't do anything. It's as if he's saying Tosca is useless now. I step over the rubble and walk forward. I'm heading to the center of the room, at the foot of the stairs. Forcing down her emotions, Saber stands still to watch over our battle.
手出しはしないか。それはありがたい。ここまで来てセイバーに邪魔をされるようでは、リンと契約を切った意味がないからな。
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. I can hear Saber's hesitation. Saber takes a quick breath and replies to the man at the top of the stairs. You know, Archer, you...
ええ。私は手出しをしません。何があろうと、あなたとシロの戦いの邪魔はしない。
それは結構。ならば安心して、小僧を始末できるというものだ。
はい。ですが、その代わりに一つだけ答えてほしい。アーチャー。なぜあなたはシロを殺そうというのです？
なぜも何もないだろう。そいつが俺を認められないように、俺もそいつを認められないだけだよ。
そんなはずはない。あなたはシロだ。エミやシロという人物の理想、英雄となった姿があなたではないのですか？ならどうしてこんな自分を殺すような真似をするのです？
なぜそう思う？未熟だった頃のエミヤ・シローとエミヤと呼ばれる英雄となった俺は別の存在だ。そうでなければ同時に存在などできないが。
それはあなたがサーバントになったからでしょ。時間軸にとらわれない守護者になったのなら、自身が生きた時代に呼ばれることもあると聞きます。あなたはシローだ。シローがずっと思い描いて、その努力が叶った姿があなたのはずだ。なのに、どうして？
She finishes in a broken voice. Why are you so different? Not responding, he starts down the stairs. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. He cannot answer that question. If he were able to, we would not be fighting here.
アーチャー。
Saber steps forward to confront Archer.
いいんだセイバー。いいから下がっていてくれ。
I stop her with my hand and keep her at the entrance.
ですが、シロー。
気持ちは嬉しいけど話しても無駄だ。あいつは初めから俺を殺すことだけが目的だったんだから。
Yeah, but she doesn't have to like it. Saber bites her lip in frustration. Saber stares at me, then at Archer.
なぜなのです、アーチャー。私にはわからない。守護者とは死後、英霊となって人間を守るものと聞いた。その英霊がなぜ自分自身を殺そうなどと考えるのか。
守護者だと。
Maybe something she said got through to him. He stops and looks down at Saber without emotion.
違うよセイバー。守護者は人間を守るものではない。あれはただの掃除屋だ。俺が望んでいた英雄などでは断じてない。
His voice sounds different. Hatred and scorn fill it now.
アーチャー。
俺は確かに英雄になった。エミヤシロという男が望んでいたように正義の味方になったんだ。
A superhero. Someone who will not harm anyone. Someone who will not retreat no matter what disaster he may face. Someone who can save everyone. Someone Emi Ashiro wanted to become. And that man became such a person?
アーチャー。
ああ、確かにいくらかの人間を救ってきたさ。自分にできる範囲で多くの理想を叶えてきたし、世界の危機とやらを救ったこともあったよ。英雄と遠い昔から憧れていた地位にさえついにはたどり着いたこともある。
英雄にたどり着いた。ならシロは報われたのですね。少なくともここにいるあなたはエミやシロの理想を叶えられたのでしょう。
In a very twisted way, yeah.
ならあなたには悔いなどないはずだ。シロはちゃんとその理想を叶えたのだから。
There's no conviction in her voice. She already knows. She knows that she's only voicing her own wish.
理想を叶えたか。確かに俺は理想通りの正義の味方とやらになったさ。だがその果てに得たものは後悔だけだった。殺して殺して殺し尽くした。己の理想を貫くために多くの人間を殺して、無関係な人間の命などどうでもよくなるくらい殺して、殺した人間の数千倍の人々を救ったよ。
Saber stares at Archer speechless. She looks like someone who saw her own mirror image.
そう。そんなことを何度繰り返したかわからないんだ。セイバー。俺は求められれば何度でも戦ったし、争いがあると知れば、
No!
だって仕方がないだろう。
I got damn clicked! Oh no. Oh, it's not an issue whenever there was a conflict. Fought so many times I can't even remember now.
何を救おうと救われない人間というものが出てきてしまう。何度戦いを終わらせようと新しい戦いは生み出される。そんなものがある限り正義の味方っていうのはあり続けるしかないんだから。
Who did he direct that to? The knight slowly descends the stairs and recounts his past.
だから殺したよ。一人を救うために何十という人間の願いを踏みにじってきた。踏みにじった相手を救うためにより多くの人間をないがしろにした。何十という人間の救いを殺して目に見えるものだけの救いを生かしてより多くの願いを殺してきた。今度こそ終わりだと、今度こそ誰も悲しまないだろうとつまらない意地を張り続けた。
But that was never the case.
だが終わることなどなかった。生きている限り争いはどこに行っても目についた。キリがなかった。何も争いのない世界なんてものを夢見ていたわけじゃない。ただ俺はせめて自分が知り得る限りの世界では
That is definitely my own wish.
一人を救えばそこから視野は広がってしまうんだ。一人の次は10人、10人の次は100人、100人の次はさて何人だったか そこでようやく悟ったよ。エミヤシロウという男が抱いていたものは都合のいい理想論だったのだと。
それはなぜ？
分かりきったことを聞くな、セイバー。君ならば何度も経験したことだろう。全ての人間を救うことはできない。国を救うためにほんの少しの人間を見殺しにするなんていうのは日常茶飯事だっただろう。
The quiet voice is rendered powerless to object. The words of the Red Knight are Saber's darkness as well.
そう、席は限られている。幸福という椅子は常に全体の数より少なめでしか用意されない。その場にいる全員を救うことなどできないから、結局誰かが犠牲になる。それを被害を最小限に抑えるために、いずれこぼれる人間を速やかに1秒でも早くこの手で切り落とした。それが英雄と、その男が理想と信じる正義の味方の取るべき行動だ。
The wish for nobody to become sad. The desire to save as many people as possible. When the two coexist and contradict each other, there is only one solution. The only people a superhero can save are the people he sides with. If one is to lose everything by trying to save everything, it is correct to sacrifice one to save more.
多くの人間を救うというのが正義の味方だろ。だから殺した。誰も死なさないようにと願ったまま、大勢のために一人には死んでもらった。誰も悲しまないようにと口にして、その陰で何人かの人間には絶望を抱かせた。そのうちそれにも慣れてきてね。理想を守るために理想に反し続けた。自分が助けようとした人間しか救わず、敵対した者は速やかに皆殺しにした。犠牲になる誰かを容認することで、かつての理想を守り続けた。それがこの俺、英雄エミヤの正体だ。そら、そんな男は今のうちに死んだ方が世のためと思わないか？
That's right. The only ones a superhero can save are people he sides with. But who was it that defied those words?
それは嘘です。たとえそうなったとしても、あなたならばその誰かを自分にして理想を追い続けたのではないですか。
The knight stops for a second. A frown crosses his face.
あなたは理想に反したのではない。守ったはずの理想に裏切られ、道を見失っただけではないのですか。そうでなければ、こんな自分を殺すことで罪を償おうなどとは思わない。
His ironic smile disappears after coldly staring at Saber. Well, I didn't think that was funny. He starts laughing like a madman, as if it's the funniest thing he's heard.
いや、これは傑作だ。俺が自分の罪を償う？バカなことを言うなよ、セイバー。償うべき罪などないし、他の誰にもそんな無責任なものを押し付けた覚えはない。
The night looks completely calm. He spoke in a small voice, but his laughter echoes through the hall.
ああ、そうだったよ、セイバー。確かに俺は何度も裏切られ、欺かれた。救ったはずの男に罪をかぶせられたこともある。死ぬ思いで争いを収めてみれば、争いの張本人だと押し付けられて、最後には公主代だ。そら、俺に罪があるというのなら、その時点で償っているだろ
う。嘘だ、アーチャー。あなたの最後は。
まあそういうことだ。だがそんなことはどうでもよかった。初めから干渉してほしかったわけじゃない。英雄などともてはやされる気もなかった。俺はただ誰もが幸福だという結果だけが欲しかっただけだ。だがそれが叶えられたことはない。生前もその死後。
He stopped laughing. There's only hatred in his voice now.
守護者とは霊長の存命のみを優先する無色の力だ。力は高きところにありて、人の世が滅亡する可能性が生じれば世に下る。それがただの奴隷であることは知っていた。死後、己が存在を守護者に預けた者は輪廻の枠から外れ、無と同意になるのだと。それでも誰かを救えるのならそれでいい。かつてのエミやシローはその誓いを守れなかった。なら守護者となって人間の滅亡とやらを食い止める一端になるのならそれでいいと思ったのだ。だが実際は違う。守護者は人など救わない。守護者がすることはただの掃除だ。すでに起きてしまったこと、作られてしまった人間の業をその力で無にするだけの存在だった。それは人を救うのではなく、世界に害を与えるであろう人々を善悪の区別なくなくすだけ。絶望に嘆く人々を救うのではなく、絶望と無関係に生を謳歌する部外者を救うために、絶望する人々を排除するだけの殺戮者。
いや、
馬鹿げた話だ。それが今までの俺と何が違う。
There's no difference. There was just more despair. He relied on a greater power since his powers alone were not enough. But it ended up being the same. He thought the power would make his wish come true, but it only made him do the same things on a greater scale.
アーチャー、あなたはずっとそんなことを。
それも慣れたよ。人間は繰り返す。どんな時代でも強者が弱者を奪い尽くすのだ。そしてそれが最も効率のいい繁栄だと思い知らされた。ああ、何度も見てきた。意味のない殺戮も、意味のない平等も、意味のない幸福も、俺自身が拒んでも見せられた。守護者となった俺にはもはや自分の意志などない。ただ人間の意志によって呼び出され、人間が作ってしまった罪の後始末をさせられるだけだったからな。
That is where he ended up. A being that repairs the damage caused by human desire. Guardians do not save people. Rather, they eliminate those who cannot be saved as if they never existed. Over and over. For many times, he saw people nearly destroy themselves through their own actions and he burned them down like trash each time. Save as many people as possible. The man became a hero with that one wish, but in the end, he could not make it come true even once.
そうだ。それは違う。俺が望んだものはそんなことではなかった。俺はそんなもののために守護者になどなったのではない。
His anger is probably directed at himself. What is standing there is a worn-out corpse. The hero Emiya is doomed to always see the ugliness of those he wanted to save. He grew to hate them in the end. He grew to hate humans for repeating conflicts. He grew to hate himself for thinking that humans are sacred.
俺は人間の後始末など真っ平だ。だが守護者となった以上、この輪から抜け出す術はない。そう。ただ一つの例外を除いて。
That won't even work. Murderous intent flares in his cold eyes. He isn't looking at Saber. There's only one objective for Archer: to kill his own self. But even if he dies, the real body of Emiya, who's in the place outside of the cycle and not bound by time, will not disappear. There is no illumination for Guardians. They are nothing to start with. It is meaningless to kill something that is not part of the real world. But there is one way for him to disappear. If someone who is to become a hero is killed before he becomes a hero, that hero will never come into existence. Therefore,
シロをここで殺すというのですか。他でもない。あなた自身の手によって。
yep,
そうだ。その機会だけを待ち続けた。果てしなくゼロに近い確率だ。だが、それにかけた。そう思わなければ自身を許容できなかった。ただその時だけを希望にして、俺は守護者などというものを続けてきた。
but not one you acted on immediately. Which is interesting. 'Cause it... Sorry. It takes him a while to actually try to kill him.
それは無駄です、アーチャー。あなたはすでに守護者として存在しているのでしょう。ならもう遅い。今になって英雄となる前のエミやシロを消滅させたところで、あなた自身は消えはしない。
そうかもしれん。だが可能性のない話ではあるまい。過去の改ざんだけでは通じないだろうが、それが自身の手によるものならば矛盾は大きくなる。歪みが大きければ、あるいはここでエミヤという英雄は消滅する。それにな、セイバー、俺はこの時だけを待って守護者を続けてきたのだ。今さら結果など求めていない。これはただの八つ当たりだ。くだらぬ理想の果てに道化となり果てるエミヤシロという小僧へのな。
And the knight in red comes down to the hall. Only Archer and I stand in the hall filled with rubble. There's nothing separating us. The reason is simple. He wants to kill me, and I just want to beat him up because I don't like him. Fair enough, I guess. I walk to the center of the hall. I won't be able to back out once I take a few more steps. But before that...
アーチャー、お前、後悔してるのか？
There's one thing I have to ask him.
無論だ。俺、いや、 お前は正義の味方になどなるべきではなかった。
He spits those words out. And that dispels my last doubts.
そうか。それじゃあ、やっぱり俺たちは別人だ。
何？
俺は後悔なんてしないぞ。どんなことになったって後悔だけはしない。だから絶対にお前のことも認めない。お前が俺の理想だって言うんなら、そんな間違った理想は俺自身の手で叩き出す。
That's how I've been living up to now. I've always believed that I'm right. As he says, I'm sure it's full of false courage and distortion. I've lost more than I've gained. But that's all the more reason why. I cannot withdraw for the sake of the things I've lost. I walk forward. My circuit has already started sketching the blueprint in my mind.
その考えがそもそもの元凶なのだ。お前もいずれ俺に追いつく時が来る。
来ない。そんなもん絶対に来るもんか。
はあ？それはつまり、その前にここで俺に殺されるということか。
No. No. He'll just correct that path. I take a step towards my enemy. We're close enough to strike at each other. We don't have any weapons. We confront each other empty-handed. Emiya Shiro is not a swordsman. We are beings that create that create swords. Then
分かっているようだな。俺と戦うということは、牽制を競い合うということだと。
the twin swords appear in his hands. That night, the simple twin swords I admired in the Ryudo Temple. Rare swords that a legendary craftsman made at the price of his wife. Oh.
トレース。オン。
I activate the completed blueprint and reproduce the twin swords using my image. What a bad job. The twin swords I once thought were perfect are too imprecise compared to his. An inferior illusion will become a delusion. Probably. My swords will shatter and disappear when they crash against his. I take another step. Crunch. The rubble crunches under my foot. Story behind the sword's pretty dark. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, cost to his wife? That serves as a signal.
俺の牽制についてこれるか？わずかでも精度を落とせば、それがお前の死に際になろう。
The opposing swords sweep through the air. They're drawn together like magnets and clash into each other. And interlude. God dang it. Okay, and yep, true name Emiya. Again, it's interesting that his stats don't decrease with no master. I guess, huh. Interesting. This is Emiya Shiro who became a hero through a miracle. A blacksmith hero who can use a reality marble without penalty to forge numerous weapons. Other details are unknown. That's pretty overpowered. Reality marble without penalty. Alchemy, yeah. No, fair enough. Magic C-. Knowledge of orthodox magic. The strength of his ability is unknown. Well, with the reality marble being a exception. And then noble phantasm is nothing. Okay. The search ends rather quickly. Lancer is thought to be specialized in battle, but he's actually skilled in magic. Guy Bolg is not the only thing he obtained in the Country of Shadows. He is the hero who obtained all 18 of the Runes of Origin. But since he prefers to battle using his lance, the magic rarely gets used. And now is one of the rare times.
よし、当たりか。
The thing that flies above the floor suddenly drops. The Bracana rune finishes its search and turns back into a stone.
誰だお前。
Hero? An unfamiliar voice stands up in confusion. Lancer realizes that he knows the voice and recalls who he is.
ライダーのマスターじゃねえか。なんだ、とっくの昔にくたばったもんと。
He stops halfway. He sees Tosaka Rin behind the boy. She's tied to a chair. That's fine. That's to be expected since she's captured. But there's a bit more to the girl. First of all, the chair is on the ground. She's tied to the chair, so Tosaka Rin is also on the ground. Her long black hair is covered in sand. And something red can be seen on her mouth. Ball gag? She blade lip. Yeah, that's what I thought. There's also a slight bruise on by her mouth.
お前、ランサーか。なんだよ。誰に断ってここに来たんだ。話が違うぞ。お前は。
The fist smashes into Mato Shinji's cheek. The light back fist blows the boy to the wall.
おお、ああ、悪いなガキ。口より先に手が出ちまった。
He didn't kill the boy since it was unconscious. But it would not have been unconscious if Tosaka Rin looked paler and her clothes were more disordered. He would have consciously given him appropriate retribution if that were the case. Yeah, I don't think anyone would, mind if you did, Lancer. Actually, Lancer doesn't care how a captive is treated. But he will not tolerate having his spoils snatched by someone else. Spoils for him are enemies he has to kill and women he favors. Okay.
ランサー
Tosaka Rin groans, still tied up to the chair. She must have been unconscious as her voice is not too much different from when she wakes up. How would you know that?
いや、朝だぜ。起きろぐうたら。
Lancer gives an out-of-place greeting and walks to Tosaka Rin.
なんでここアインツベルンの城よ。
Yeah?
承知している。ああ、いいから動くな。今その手枷を切ってやる。その後は好きにしろ。広間に行ってバカどもの喧嘩を止めるなり、裏口から帰るのも自由だ。
The red lance appears. Lancer's a stalker? I mean, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Kirei told them to keep an eye on her. But you think Archer would have noticed and chased him off. So I don't know. Or maybe Archer just decided Lancer wasn't a threat. And so he ignored him. I don't know. It's entirely possible though. I wouldn't be surprised if Kirei did order him to keep an eye on her.
それは助かるけど。ランサー、後ろ。
Lancer turns around at Rin's warning.
な、に、
The one appearing there is unexpected even for him. The corner of the room. The one walking past Mato Shinji is.
そこまでだランサー。協力しろとは言ったが、深入りしろとは言わなかったぞ。
Kotomine Kirei, the one assumed to have been killed by Castor.
Kira!
Rin lets out a surprised voice. Lancer glares suspiciously at the priest.
おい、いつから終始買いしやがったんだお前。俺のマスターは表には出てこないのが心情だったんじゃなかったか。
変えるような収支などない。そういうお前こそ命令違反だぞランサー。アーチャーの始末を命じたはずだが、仕損じたか。
We'll just leave it to someone else.
あれはほっといても自滅する。その前にやり残した仕事を片付けに来たんだが、お前がここにいるということは、そこのガキはお前の差し金か。
人聞きが悪いな。彼とは協力関係だ。聖杯を手に入れるため、共に認め合った仲だが。
Of course you are. Right. Cooperation, huh? Makes sense. Yeah. The priest says so without looking at the boy moaning in the rubble.
そう。あんたがそう簡単にくたばるわけないと思ったけど、しぶとく生きてるばかりか。裏でこそこそ手を回してたのね。悪趣味ここに極まるっていうか、人畜無害な神事を懐柔してどうしようっていうのよ、キレ。
Harmless? Why?
なるほど。あれを人畜無害と取るか。この状況においてもお前は遠坂凛らしい。もう少し出来の悪い弟子ならば惜しむこともないのだが。
The priest laughs. He looks and sounds as though he's giving a benediction to the dying. A chill runs up the girl's spine. At that moment, she realizes her fate. With a saintly smile, the priest gazes upon the sacrifice, who had been his pupil for the past 10 years.
待てよ、琴峰。その女はどうするつもりだ。教え子を助けたいと言ったお前の言葉は嘘だったのか。
Yes. Lancer glares at his master while standing in front of the girl.
嘘なものか。彼女はここまで育てた大切な駒だ。10年にわたり欺き続けたのだから、そう簡単にリタイアされてはつまらん。故に、お前に彼女の警護を任せたのだ。わずか2日ばかりの延命だったが、親心としては十分すぎるのではないかな。
Love. Right. I believe that totally. The priest walks past Lancer and looks down at the girl on the ground. The girl glares at her former instructor.
SS 神父。あんたならやりかねないと思ったけど、本当にマスターだったなんてね。監督役のくせにゲームに参加するなんて、反則もいいところじゃない。
Yeah, that's a bit fucked up.
その割には落ち着いているな、リン。やはり気づいてはいたのか。
当然でしょ。自分のサーバントを見せなかったのもあんたを疑ってたからだもの。けどね、まさか初めっから騙されてるとは思わなかったわ。
初めから。
Then, the priest frowns as if the words are unexpected.
何よ、文句あるっていうの？キレ。
いや、初めからというが、それはどのあたりを指しているのかと思ってな。
You know, from when she was, 8 years old. Like, the priest grins. He looks down at the girl with utmost pleasure.
綺麗。あんた。
それは今回の聖杯戦争が始まってからか。それともお前が言う初めからとは前回の聖杯戦争を言っているのかね。
With that, the girl understands everything. Her face turns pale, and she looks up at the man she studied under for 10 years in disbelief.
そう。殺したのはあんただったんだ。
当然だろう。恩師であったからな。騙し討ちはたやすかった。
A grinding sound. The girl hangs her head and grits her teeth.
行き場に迷えクソ神父。断言してやるけど、あんたに居場所なんてないんだからね。地獄だってあんたみたいなのは願い下げで、煉獄だって他の連中がずぶとくなるってんでたらい回しよ。あんたみたいな生き損ないはね、性に合わない天国あたりで針のむしろにくるまってろっての。
That would hurt. The girl keeps on cursing him. Of course, the priest doesn't care about such things. But the boy is overawed by her change. Mato Shinji never thought Tausaka Rin would show this much emotion.
琴峰、遠坂は僕がもらったんだって知ってるだろ。あいつに用があるのは僕だけだ。あんたはただ教会でこっちの守備を待ってればいいんだよ。
いや、用ならばある。彼女にはここで聖杯になってもらわねばならないからな。
Mato Shinji doesn't understand what the priest is saying. The only ones who understand are the priest and the sacrifice, Tausaka Rin.
アーチャーとセーバーが消えればいい加減頃合いだ。いらぬ抵抗され、鮮度を落とされても困る。ことは迅速に済ませてしまおう。
The priest walks away from the girl with those words. The only one in front of Tausaka Rin is Lancer.
琴峰、貴様。
そのゴミを始末しろ、ランサー。器に心臓はいらぬ。
Nope. Only Mato Shinji reacts to those words. Tausaka Rin glares at the priest, but bites her lip without speaking. The priest's smile already told her that she was going to be killed here. She understands that she will not be saved, and that she won't be heard even if she begs for her life. That's why she doesn't complain. That is the only way she can resist, and that is her will of opposition. She won't give up until the very last second. Help might arrive even at this moment, and she might be the only one that survives after this room miraculously crumbles.
ありえない話だけど。
She won't give up, but she also understands it's impossible. You sure about that? That's why she has no fear. Except for one thing. She imagines that boy's expression when he finds her dead after coming to save her. She doesn't want him to cry. It angers her that she's the cause of his tears, and she doesn't know how she can apologize to him. No, she can't apologize if she dies, but she still doesn't want him to cry.
ごめん、エミヤ君。私、先にリタイアする。
Nope. So she decides to apologize ahead of time. It does no good, but it calms her down.
どうしたランサー。相手は少女。貫くのはたやすかろう。
It clearly doesn't know the story of Kushulain very well if he believes it's that easy for Lancer. The priest shows no mercy. To that.
お断りだ。今回のは従えねえ。俺にやらせたかったらその霊樹でも使うんだな。
Lancer replies while looking at the priest as if he's an enemy.
何
You heard him. The priest narrows his eyes. The master and the slave. The air inside the room freezes as they stare at each other.
そうか。仕方あるまい。自分でできることにレイジを消費するわけにはいかんのだが。
He raises his left arm. The priest activates the command spell on his arm.
では命じよう。自害しろランサー。
He vomits up blood. But that is nothing compared to the blood spilling from his chest.
ことみね。貴様。
His voice is a whisper now. The spearman, Lancer's chest and heart are pierced by his own lance.
さらばだ。お前の役目はとうに終わっている。
The man in blue armor falls to the floor. Yeah, it's a bit of fucked up, huh, Shinji? Redness permeates the floor. There's no sign of him getting back up. The spearman in blue has been defeated by his own lance at the command of his own master. The priest moves. He walks over to the girl and crouches down. Her heart. He stoops so that he can easily pull out Tosaka Rin's heart.
ことみね。約束が違うじゃないか。遠坂は僕にくれるって言っただろう。
Fuck your promise. The priest gives the boy a wordless glance.
ダメだ。遠坂はダメだ。そいつには借りがいっぱいあるんだから。生きていてくれなくちゃ困る。
Mato Shinji protests, his teeth chattering at the sight of Lancer's corpse. But he stops. The boy slowly retreats, unable to take the priest's stare. The priest looks from the boy back to the girl.
最後に何か言い残すことはあるか。遺言ぐらいは聞こう。
His words are simple. Go fuck yourself.
こういう時の私が何を考えているか、あんたなら知ってるはずでしょ。
Tosaka Rin answers in a normal manner.
そうだな。最後まで諦めないのがお前だ、リン。同時に覆らない現実を瞬時に認めるのもお前の素晴らしさだ。いいぞ。その矛盾はなかなかに芳醇だ。
He shows no hesitation. The priest grabs the girl's... Kirei. The priest grabs the girl's breast, right on top of her heart. The girl closes her eyes at the sensation. A pierce. The heart is pierced and blood flows out. Even after being abandoned, the room is still used as a disposal for corpses. This is a cheeky fucking thing to do. Like the anime, you know, I think it like goes black for a split second when it does the squelch sound, but immediately comes back into seeing Kirei being stabbed by Lancer. But here, they're like building it up like, oh, Rin's dead, oh. The one to gasp is Tosaka Rin. Blood drips onto the floor. The dripping sound is made by something above her. From the chest of the priest who is looking down at the girl. Blood pours from his mouth. The wound on his chest is fatal. The weapon protruding from his back is the cursed lance that always strikes its target. The priest shows no emotion. With his lips covered in blood, he turns to Lancer.
ランサー貴様。
あいにくだったな、ことみね。この程度でくたばれるんならよ。俺は英雄になんぞなってねえ。
Anyone can tell that the ironic voice is bluffing. Lancer has no vitality. He has no heart, and his body is about to disappear. The demonic lance is pulled out. The priest, having nothing to show for his departure, falls and dies. No matter how great his mastery of magic, or how powerful his divine protection, he's still a mere human. There's no way for him to be alive after being stabbed in his heart by the demonic lance.
たく、結局こうなったか、たわけ。
Unfortunately, the knight leans against the wall and tries to hold up his disappearing body. But it's only temporary. Lancer disappears once he falls to the ground. He lost his heart and his master. He is still able to maintain his body because of his dirty survival tricks.
いいじゃんいいじゃん。バカどもは勝手に殺し合ってねよ。
シンジ。
The girl who was staring at the dead priest is brought back to reality by the laughing voice.
何が聖杯は君のものだ。だよ。役立たずは最後まで役立たずだったな、神父さん。
Mato Shinji kicks the priest's corpse. The dead man does not move. That must have pleased him as the boy kicks the priest's head with all his might. A heavy smacking sound echoes in the room. The sensation and the sound excite Mato Shinji more than he expected.
けど文句は言わないでおくよ。さっきのことは根に持ってないし、死んじゃったやつにあれこれ言うのはみっともないしさ。
He laughs. The boy, whose sanity is almost gone, walks toward Tosaka Rin with staggering steps.
待たせたね、遠坂。いろいろ邪魔が入ったけど、これでようやく二人きりだ。残るサーバントもあと3人。ここで君が泣き疲れた頃には、全部型がついてるさ。
He literally goes on all fours to get on top of Tosaka Rin like a lizard.
けどよかった。お前にはいろいろ用があったんだ。ほんと困るよ、遠坂。簡単に死なれちゃあさ。ここまで我慢してきた僕に申し訳がないってもんだろ。
Yeah?
さあ、こびてみろよ、遠坂。お前の態度次第で助けてやらないこともないぜ。
That's really creepy.
それに、聖杯はもう僕のものだ。ここで僕のものになるって言うなら、お前にだって分けてやっても。
呆れた。本当にバカじゃないの、あんた。
Yeah, he is. Then, even while she's tied up, Tosaka Rin speaks.
なんだって？
まだ懲りないのかって言ってるのよ、シンジ。あんたは綺麗にいいように使われてただけでしょ。 いい？あのサーバントは扱いきれるものじゃない。そんなこと近くにいるんだからあんただって分かってるでしょ。今ならまだ間に合うのはそっちの方よ。死にたくなかったら1秒でも早くここから逃げ出しなさい。
何を言い出すかと思えば結局は命乞いじゃんか。バカはお前だよ遠坂。目障りな琴峰は死んだんだぜ。今さら何が僕の邪魔をするって言うんだ。
Maybe you should realize there's a certain blue knight that hasn't disappeared entirely yet. Mato Shinji runs his fingers along the girl's body. At that instant,
おい、
yeah, you fucked up. Mato Shinji's punched away once again. He's flung to the wall.
ガキが。そいつはてめえなんかが触れていい女じゃねえ。
Lancer is such a goddamn, like, G, dude. Fucking love that dude. Oh, man. Lancer glances at the boy and walks lazily to the girl.
何？死に損ないの分際で僕に意見しようっていうの？
Yeah. You're a fucking creep. The spearman stops. He now turns to Mato Shinji.
おとなしく寝ていれば苦しまずに死ねたってのにな。さっきといい今度といい、お前楽には殺さないからな。ほら出番だぜギルガメッシュ。こいつカッコつけて死にたいんだってさ。
Yeah? He raises his voice. Mato Shinji's servant, the one who can kill any heroic spirit, is summoned by his master, and...
おい、なんだよ。何やってんだよあいつ。
He's not your servant.
聞こえないのか。早く来いって言ってるだろ。
His voice sheepishly echoes through the room. The golden servant does not appear. The spearman, covered in blood, takes another step towards the annoying boy.
くそくそくそくそくそ。なんだよお前。死に損ないのくせに何かっこつけてんだよ。消えろよ。目障りだってわかんないのかよこの化け物。
The lance is thrust.
あ。
The quick thrust pierces Mato Shinji through his right shoulder? Wait, the anime didn't pierce him, it just gave him a cut, and he ran away. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong, right? I'm pretty sure in the anime, he literally just gives him like a nick on the shoulder, like it's like a tiny little cut. His scream tears through the room. Lancer pulls out the lance with an almost bored expression and points at Mato Shinji's temple.
うせろ。死に損ないでもな。お前程度なら1000人殺したところで支障はない。
Retreating to the wall and shivering, Mato Shinji runs away.
たく、無駄な体力使わせやがって。
Letting out a big sigh, he walks over to the girl. The lance cuts away the girl's bonds like paper.
ありがとう。助かったわ、ランサー。
She thanks him as soon as she's freed. Unmindful of the dirt that covers her, she bows to Lancer.
ま、成り行きだからな。礼を言われる筋じゃねえ。
At that instant, he falls.
ランサー。
She tries to catch him, but doesn't make it. Lancer, who is leaning against a wall, crumples onto the ground. His legs won't move. Lancer's limbs are already dead. The fact that he still got up, killed his master, and freed her is unbelievable. Gushing blood stains his blue armor red.
待ってて、すぐに傷を塞ぐから。
Ren runs to the bloody spearman, but Lancer stops her by raising his hand.
無駄だ。俺のゲイボルクで破壊された心臓は簡単には治らん。だいたいな、そんな余分なマルカ残ってねえだろお前。
けどそれじゃ。
まあ気にするな。こういうのには慣れてる。英雄ってのはな、いつだって理不尽な命令で死ぬものなんだから。
He's such a bro. His casual talk is like always. The blue spearman doesn't change his tone, even on the verge of his death. The girl stands there speechless, looking up at her. Lancer sighs as if the weight is lifted off his shoulders.
いや、お互いつまんねえ相棒を引いちまったな。
そうね。けど私のはつまんないっていうより扱いづらいだけだったかな。
違いない。お前のような女が相棒だったら言うことはなかったんだが、あいにく昔っからいい女とは縁がなくてな。まったくこればっかりは何度繰り返しても治らねえみてえだ。
He laughs in self-derision. Then,
さあ早く行け。こいつは俺が連れて行く。お前はお前の相棒のところに戻らないと。
the spearman in blue urges the girl. Lancer is holding the Ansu's rune. The rune containing his remaining magical energy will burn this room to ashes. Understanding his determination, the girl turns her back to Lancer.
さよならランサー。短い間だったけど、私もあなたみたいな人は好きよ。
She runs to the entrance hall.
小娘がもうちょっと年取って出直してこい。
He sounds happy. The room erupts in flames. The blaze burns Lancer's body and his master's corpse, without leaving a trace. The red lance and the blue armor disappear in the flames like empty illusions.